bim bim bam, bim 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 bam, ya da 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 bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, bim bam bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, ya da 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 bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Good Shabbos, Rabbi. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Rabbi, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. Come on, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, da 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 bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam.
So it is a CAYA Shabbat, and a nice, calm, peaceful moment for us to enjoy and welcome Shabbat together. And for those who aren't regulars here, most of you, that means we don't use a prayer book tonight, and we just enjoy the melodies of our prayers and our meditations and our time to be together for half an hour or so, and welcome Shabbat in that way. And so that's what we do tonight, with a little meditation, with a little prayer, with an opportunity. It just so happens, if we were to look at a calendar on this day, as sun sets tonight, it is the 9th of Av, Tisha B'Av, a day of mourning for the Jewish people, a day where we commemorate the destruction of the first temple and the second temple. Actually, the rabbis say, where we recognize a number of things: the expulsion of the Jews from England, from Spain, England in the 13th century, Spain in the 15th century, the day when World War I began, the day when the Treblinka camps began operations. And so all these tragedies for our people over time. Yet, since the creation of the state of Israel, many of us have looked at this day of fasting as sort of strange. Now, you should know that as Jews, because it falls on Shabbat this year, the rabbis, 1,800 years ago, decided that we wouldn't do it on this day. We celebrate it on the 10th of Av, starting tomorrow night. So you're safe. You don't have to fast. Personally, even when I lived in Israel, I didn't observe this holiday. It's a strange holiday because we survived. And I feel sometimes, too often as a people, we focus so much on the past and we neglect the future that we seem to forget about, what really is most valued and what we celebrate in our lives today, like the naming of a child that just came into this world a few days ago, which happens to be a reason why a few people are here today. So, it's an interesting story. Napoleon happened upon a synagogue in Paris during his conquests, and he saw the people mourning and lamenting, chanting lamentations, because it was this day of Tisha B'Av. And he asked, why are these people wailing? Why are they so sad? And he was told, they're commemorating the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. He said, no one told me that happened. When did it happen? My advisors haven't. He said, no, it happened 1,700 years ago. He said, and they behave this way now? He said, if this is how they focus on what they've lost as something they hope to gain in the future, then this is a people who understand hope. And so for me, recognizing this day is a day of, one, yes, knowing a little bit of our past, and so we'll talk about that some, but more than that, understanding what our hope is for our future. So it's nice that we hear the voices of children. It's nice that we get to welcome a new one into our community, into our world. It's nice that we can be together for Shabbat to celebrate. So with that in mind, let us pray a little bit. Let us breathe in deep. Let us soak in the beauty of our world on this night for us as a community. Maybe even close our eyes. Breathe in deeply God's gift to each and every one of us. And breathe out our gift to this world. The world is built on kindness. Think of the goodness that fills our days, how we spend our time. What lifts us up is the kindness that is shared, the love that we feel. So as we celebrate Shabbat, as we welcome Shabbat, think back to this week. Think back to those blessings that have been there, ways maybe someone lifted you up with kindness. In the midst of the hecticness, the busyness, craziness of our lives, the difficulties that fill our world, the challenges that truly exist each and every day. The question we ask is, what brings us to this moment? What keeps us going? And for us as a people, it's the kindness we can share, the kindness we can give, the kindness we feel from one another that we bring into our world together.
I will build this world from love. Yada-day, yada-day, yada-day-day. And you must build this world from love. Yada-day, yada-day, yada-day. And if we build this world from love, yada-day, 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 then God will build this world from love. Yada-day, 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 olam chesed, olam chesed yibaneh.
And so with those thoughts, with those realities, with that intentionality, so can we come together as a community for our prayers, for our call to worship as we rise, if we're able, to join in the Baruch Hu.
Lai, la, la, lai, lai, la, la, lai, lai. Lai, la, la, lai, lai, la, lai, lai, lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Shelter us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema
you'd like to be following along in the prayer book, even though we say it's a CAYA service, you don't have to. We are on page 22. As we are seated together now, please be seated, and we join with Cantor and the Vahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Our tradition is decisive in how we behave and what we do. Our history, though, is less clear. I always say that we're a people of memory more than history. Of course, our holidays all say they're based on history, but whether you want to prove that or not is a different story. Like I said, we commemorate the destruction of the temple 70 years ago, or 586 years ago, BCE, by the Babylonians and King Nebuchadnezzar. Those scholars today believe the Edomites may have actually been the ones who destroyed the first temple in Jerusalem. But that's not the story we tell. And the idea of what matters to us is the memories we create and the values that are based upon them in our lives. Fascinating story. The rabbis say, though, it's because of the behavior of the Israelites over time that the temples are destroyed. And that what the Jewish people do one to another is what causes them to fold in a sense, and for the Romans a second time to come upon them. There's a story in the Talmud about two gentlemen who never got along. One's name was Kamsa, and the other name was Bar Kamsa. And I know, it'd be like, Schwartz and Bar Schwartz. But they both get along, don't worry. But they're not here, so we can talk about them. No, so Kamsa and Bar Kamsa, enemies, and they have issues with different people, and a very wealthy man in the Jewish community is having a great celebration, and he has his assistant send out the invitations and invite Kamsa, his good friend, to come. But his assistant makes a mistake and addresses it and sends it to Bar Kamsa instead. And Bar Kamsa shows up at the party, and the man says, "Why are you here? You're not my friend." The man's incredibly embarrassed that he's being humiliated this way, and he says, "Please just let me stay. I'll pay for my way here." And he says, "No, you can't stay." He says, "You know what? I'll pay for the entire party." He goes, "No, you can't stay." And eventually he has the man thrown out. Well, the man not only is humiliated, but is furious. And he goes to the Roman authorities at the time, and he says, "The Jews, they're going to rebel against you." I say, "Well, how do you know this?" He says, "Trust me. Send a calf to the Jews for a sacrifice. And if they sacrifice it, the gift that you give them, then you'll know that they're good people. If they don't sacrifice it, you know they're going to rebel." And so they get ready to send this calf as a gift to the Jewish people, the emperor of Rome at the time. And Bar Kamsa, being the individual that he is, puts a little cut in the calf's leg, which of course makes it not kosher for a sacrifice. So it comes to the rabbis, and the rabbis are stricken. What are they going to do? Are they going to sacrifice this calf and violate Jewish tradition, or are they going to please the Romans and accept the gift and, do this at the time? So the rabbis decide, well, tradition is so important, and they say we can't sacrifice the calf. It's not kosher. Well, the Romans are furious, and that's why they begin to persecute the Jews and eventually destroy the temple. It's a story. But the idea of what we have as capacity to do one to the other, the idea of how we judge before we understand, how we hurt before we appreciate, how we sometimes lead with something instead of the idea of kindness and acceptance and the opportunity to understand a little more. Our tradition is based on stories. And the stories the rabbis took from this was, what do we have to do to make our world better is how we talk to each other, how we accept each other, how we make our world a better place. So the prayer Hashkivenu asks us to hold on to the blessings that we feel right now so that tomorrow we wake up and they're still here. Because we make a commitment as we fall asleep to say, I will lead with kindness. I will see people in my midst and, rather than judge, attempt to accept, to appreciate, to understand, to learn, and at least to know that they're part of my world, and we're in this world together.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamitenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamitenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha l'chaim u'shalom me'ata v'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamitenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamitenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzeitenu, uvoenu l'chaim u'shalom me'ata v'ad olam. Me'ata v'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamitenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamitenu malkeinu l'chaim.
One of the greatest challenges we face in the midst of our spiritual lives is how we prepare for prayer. What we do to get ourselves ready for these moments. I'm sure all of you on your drives to synagogue tonight were thinking in meditation and preparation as you approach the synagogue, as you got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 miles away, hopefully with your eyes not closed. But as you found a moment, maybe, to think of what you would experience. I'm sure none of you were thinking of that, actually. I wasn't. I was talking to my mom and dad on the phone on the drive here. Because that's how I get ready sometimes for Shabbat, for prayer. I check in with someone I love, and we're blessed to have technology as an opportunity to give that to us. So they may be going to synagogue tonight, pick up the phone and call them and check in and wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Maybe we can do the same as well as we leave here later on. What do we do to check in with the people in our lives and connect? And tradition says, in a sense, that's what prayer does. It reminds us of the people that are part of who we are. Those who've walked this earth before us, those who are a part of our ancestry who gave us tradition as well, to help us form something that keeps us together as a people. So, as we prepare for the Amidah, our central prayers of worship, think about who maybe we can call, reach out to, connect with, and wish a Shabbat Shalom, or even if we're not Jewish, just wish them a beautiful Friday evening as we share it together in our time as well. Please rise.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Ve'Elohei Rachel. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
In the midst of our prayers, in the midst of our thoughts on Shabbat, so is it learning that we do as a community, so is it Torah that we turn to. It reminds us as we bring Torah into our midst how it's been a source of hope and strength, not just of learning for our people, literally for thousands of years. And so as we walk around with the Torah, we reach out, we touch it, we mention names out loud of those who we think of in the midst of our prayers.
Mimi sheberach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
Shiberach, Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Imotenu, Yisrael, Kalei, Rachel, Hu Yivarech et Cholim, merciful God, who's blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel. Send your blessings to our loved ones who are stricken with illness and anxiety, friends and family we think of at this time. Elisa Yoto and Alan Edelberg, Amy Drysdale Atler, Sharon Bacon, Mickey Berg, Doreen Billett, Michael Brody, Karen Kasman, Chava Rachel, Esther, Bat Shana Rivka, Patty Serezny, Stephen Chadwick, Rick DeRoven, Megan Dox, Elisheva Batsara, Brett Eisen and Michael Eisen, Barbara Esrig, Richard Finkel, Richard Gotro, Robert Goldstein, Ken Golos, Todd Graham, Batiat Heshapanina, Andrew Halo, Ava Haber-Kornholm, Taya Hall, Hank Heiser, Carol Kaufman, Karen Kessler, Serafina Coffrin, Karen Coltono, Marta Lazar, Henry Leopold, Libby McIntyre, Lauren Majeski, and Sean Majeski, Zoe Marcus, Joyce Maza, Teresa Miji, Allison Mertzman, Gail Mintz, Mordechai Ben Moshe, Lev Herschel Ben Bat Ami, Semach Ben Root, Linda Newman, Rabbi Robert Nosenchuk, Reza Bat Leah Miriam, Leah Elisheva Bat Avram Bachana, Susan Perlman, Melanie Pohl, Alice Pulver, Joanne Reed, Rachel Mi Beit Chaim Bachava, Marcy Fisher-Reiners, the St. Amand family, Karen Schulman, Bernard Sklar, Roberta Sanino, Pamela Margulis Stone, Barbara Storm, Justin Weber, Deborah Zivian, as well as the 32,455 American troops who have been injured in Iraq and the surrounding areas to date, and all the names in our hearts. Baruch atah Na'afel Chalim. Bless you, God, to give strength to those in need.
Sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu rafua shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. משברך אבותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, משברך אמותינו, שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל. Heal us now and hear our prayer. Bless those in need of healing with rafua shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Nothing can fill the emptiness that a death leaves behind. Those who are no longer a physical presence are still alive within our thoughts and our words. Their memories are only a part of the picture. So long as we recall their presence and their warmth, friendship, heart, mind, and thoughts are still within our soul. We honor and cherish the ones we love by living our lives to the fullest. As time in our prayers, our thoughts turn to those taken from our midst in this past month whose Shloshim we mark, friends and family of our community. Sherry Minlin, Lloyd Suter, Ronald Zamler, Ivan Fiddler, Larry Shook, Larry Janender, Jack Holmes, Sally Kohlenberg, Scott Sosinski, Judy Faxon, Caroline Sherbin, Marilyn Shapiro Lease, as well as the 4,586 Americans of our armed forces who've been killed in Iraq and the surrounding areas to date, and the 1,033,092 Americans who've lost their lives to the coronavirus. Linking their names and names whose yortzites we mark on the Shabbat, those anniversary of passing we lovingly commemorate: Esther Allen, Jerry Altschul, Cantor Sam Berman, Harry Bockoff, Bessie Cohen-Gilman, Cantor Stephen Dubov, Mel Durbin, Abe Eisenberg, Rochelle Goldman, Sylvia Greenberg, Jerry Hanrahan, Mary Ingalls, Jack Kirsch, Ben Constantin, Alan Michaels, Max Minlin, Muriel Morse, Sarah Nadal, Toiva Rival, Sherry Robbins, Jane Shane, Mary Schwartz, Elliot Shepard, Sam Sweet, Ben Yellen. And linking their names to all the names that we do not recite on this Shabbat, those of every faith and family whose lives have touched ours, as well as those who have no one to stand and say Kaddish for them. So do we join together in the immortal words of Mourner's Kaddish as found on page 46 of our prayer books. Yikadal, Yikadash, Shemei Rabbah, Bialma Divra Chirate Bialmich Malchute, B'chaya Chon of Yomei Chon Uchaye Decho Beit Yisrael, Pagalal Ubizman Kari V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mavarach Olam Amei Amaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh, V'yitnadar V'yitnalet V'yitnalal Shemei Kudisha B'richu V'elam Minku Birchata V'shirata Tushbachata V'nechamata Datmaram V'yaman V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlomo Rabbah Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mamav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael V'imru, Amen. Source of peace and peace to those who mourn, comfort to those who are bereaved here and everywhere. And let us say,
Oseh Shalom B'mamav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mamav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imru Amen. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael.
good Shabbos, everyone.
Good Shabbos.
And now the reason 89.6% of you are here tonight. Like the warm-up show, you know? Prayers are just a little warming up. But tradition tells us when a Jew celebrates and has joy in their lives, they bring that to the community so others can feel that as well. At least that's what the grandmothers have told us to do. So, that was a shout out to Meryl and Amy. But in that tradition, the idea of blessing and welcoming a child into the covenant of the people of Israel is mazel and something a whole community can celebrate. And so we're here to recognize that and welcome with a name, Ronnie Lev Schwartz. Ronnie is the son of Gina Shimko Schwartz and Scott Schwartz, and the brother of Lila, Lily, and Zoe. Just making sure they're aware, I'm paying attention. The grandson of Amy Seidman and Tim Zimmerman, and Pat and Jim Asioli, and of Meryl and Mark Schwartz, and the great-grandson of Mel Seidman and Mary Asioli. And so I asked Ronnie to bring his mom and dad and his big sisters up to the bima to join me at this special time. Like applause are starting? Sort of drape that around. Eloheinu v'Elahei avotenu v'imotenu, God and our Creator. Gina and Scott, come up to the front here so everyone can see you better. Because, you know, they really don't want to see me. Amy, it's all being videoed. You put that down and be present and just enjoy. Stop it. No. You can, it's Shabbat. You can't be working. Just go to like 36 minutes into services, clip that YouTube link. It's on YouTube, Shir Shalom. You got it all. Forever. I'm starting again. I'll set it up for you. Don't worry. Oh. Alex, will you do that for Amy afterwards? Okay. Eloheinu v'Eloheinu v'Imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors. Gina and Scott have come into your presence to voice the longings of their hearts. Give them the wisdom to teach their child to be faithful to the heritage and household of the people of Israel, that he may grow up with the knowledge that you are always near to him, sustaining and guiding him. Keep open the eyes of his spirit. He may ever be conscious of the beauty and wonder of your world. Let him learn to love the goodness that's in the human soul. He may ever nourish the good that's been implanted within him. Grant him health of mind, strength of body. He may enjoy fullness of years and radiance of spirit. Let him always know that he is the product of the greatest love story of Temple Shir Shalom ever, that which began in 1995, first meeting on a Madrachim retreat, and then going on into a teen mission to Israel in 1998, even with a prom as friends, and then reuniting with marriage in May of 2021 through a pandemic, coming together. And so Lev is a part of this little boy's name, which means heart. We'll talk about that in a moment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, gomel chasadim tovim. Bless you, God, ruler of the universe, whose presence fills creation, extending love and kindness into our world.
May we never measure how much...
We got to hear you.
Can you not hear me?
No.
Oh, it's for the
recording.
recording. It's for the recording. Oh, I got you.
Is it on?
Are we on?
Yeah.
Okay. May we never measure how much love and encouragement we offer. May we never count on the times that we forgive. Rather, may we always be grateful that we have one another and that we are able to express our love in acts of kindness. As we encircle you with this talit, so do we enter the circle of our family. As we wrap you in this talit, so may your life be wrapped in your faith and heritage. As we embrace you in this prayer shawl, may you embrace your faith and your people. Jewish tradition teaches that all the generations, even those unborn, were at Mount Sinai and participated in the making of a covenant between God and the people. God said, "And I will establish my covenant between me and you and your seed after you throughout your generations as an everlasting covenant." Today we bring our son into a brit, a covenant. Through the years to come, we will try to impart the sanctity of the Jewish faith so that he may live his life imbued with the ideals of Torah, service, and good deeds.
There is a beautiful Jewish folk belief that says every person has three names. The one chosen by his parents, the one others will call him, and the one he acquires for himself. Acquiring your own name, your own identity, may you be inspired by the covenant which we enter you into on this day, by the qualities of great-grandmothers of your family. That you are named Jory for your great-grandmother, Marjorie, Pastor Merrill's mother, a blessed memory, for whom that name will always be a part of who you are. And just as, Scott, your grandmother adored you, and that you could do no wrong no matter what, would speak Yiddish to you and in our world, and loved every minute that she could have with you, so may you feel that love, and may it always be a part of your son. And of course, that's for Gina, for your grandmother, her great-grandmother, Rita Seidman, of the name Ronnie in Hebrew and in English, is a part of you as well. And so those qualities of your grandmother that we so reflected upon just a month ago, that may you always have a good ice cream bar with you. May you always be able to make us laugh. May you have that perspective. May you have that inappropriateness in life that is so much a part of your family. May you, that Rita loved to bring to her family, shooting straws and getting other people in trouble, never taking the blame herself, and always with her strong will and saying it like it is in our world. Two very special people, to you two, to many in this congregation as well. So, may this little child, may Ronnie Lev, may Jory Lev, Ben, always have that as well. And so with that in mind, Scott?
With all my heart, with all my soul, and with all my might, I pray for the continued health of this child. I pray for him to be strong in mind and body, to grow steadily and sturdily in a home filled with joy. I pray for him to become a person who greets the world with passion, courage, humility, humor, and patience. With all my heart, with all my soul, with all my might, I pray for God to watch over me and my family. I pray for the ability to love and nurture this child, to provide for him and to educate him, to understand him and allow him the freedom to grow.
So this, on this ninth day of Av, 5783, in the midst of all of us present as a congregation, as a family and community, so we give this child, Ronnie Lev Schwartz, his Hebrew name. From this day until forever, may he be known among our people with the name Zori Lev Ben Shalom Fifo Vagila. May it be a name that brings honor to his family and sheds honor amongst our people. And so, with that in mind, so much that we celebrate. The fact that we have Scott Birkenstocks on the bima today really makes me feel, and Scott's wearing shoes, the world is upside down, first of all. That alone. The fact that this child got Scott on the bima, I don't know if I thank Ronnie or Gina more for that in this moment as well. The fact that the two of you are here together and the people that your son is named for are so special to all of us in this community. The name Lev representing heart and strength as a part of your love and what you've created in this world. So much that's a blessing, so much that's good, so much that we ask for this little one as well, as we ask God to bless him now with these words.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Ronnie, Lev, may God bless you, may God protect you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'choneka.
May God's light shine upon you and be good to you and shine through you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
That was an epic move. Zoe, Lila, Lily, come here. Put your hands on your brother here with his blessing. Come on. All together. Say, may God always be a part of who you are. Ronnie, Lev, Zori Lev, Ben Shalom, may you always have these blessings in life. So much love that surrounds you. May you have nachas from kinder, joy from children as parents, grandparents, great-grandparents feel in this moment. May you have gesund health, parnasa success, whatever these little hands and little feet. Have you ever seen such hands so little? No, right? I mean, no. Except for Zoe's. Oh, they're pretty big now. May you have shalom, peace. Peace in your heart, in mind, and may you, little one, bring even more peace to our world. Together we say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu la'azman hazeh. Bless you, God, ruler of the universe, who's given us life, sustained us, brought us to this awesome moment together. We say, Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu la'azman hazeh.
First time to do this Kiddush cup as well, giving thanks for the sweetness, for the blessing of this little boy. So, Scott, you take this. That's only for you to drink. And we sing with Cantor.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei beri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. L'chaim.
Fine. You guys can sit down now. You can stay up here. You can take it with you if you want. Yeah. Keep sipping. So they're one of the first to get our new tradition. Here you go. Of this goodie bag that is, I think, a little mezuzah for Ronnie and his own Kiddush cup and a challah for Shabbat, for his first Shabbat. I know it's his second Shabbat, but don't tell anyone. Meryl made last week's. Baruch Hashem. And a little kiddish wine, some other goodies, and so when a baby is born in our community, you get that little one as well. So, and now, a few other things to share on our calendar that I can't remember anything now. I'm just so filled with joy in seeing that happen. I mean, come on, this is pretty cool, right? It's a vine somewhere, I think. So, tradition at Temple Shir Shalom, when we ever get together and have services, we always take a moment for a tish. A tish, of course, the table, and the rabbis would answer questions about anything that people are curious about, whatever you might want to ask. So we have to answer that to the best of our ability. Of course, you only got me and Cantor right now, but still we'll do our best. So for a few minutes before we enjoy a special oneg in honor of Ronnie Lev, in honor of this special little boy, so do we get to share with all of you. So, a question or two you may or may not have. Or not. Yes, Dr. Minlin. Thank you. My classes on Chayim, a Jewish perspective of life and living and learning, is we're going to continue doing that. I'll do another section of 4 and ethics. And so I think we're going to wait till the holidays so I'll start up right after the high holidays. We'll start all our adult ed at that time too. Speaking of the holidays, someone asked me a question as I walked in wanting to buy the new prayer books that we have for the holidays. So our new high holiday prayer books called Mishkan HaNefesh actually are a 2-volume set. There's a Rosh Hashanah prayer book and a Yom Kippur prayer book. That's going to be really confusing, right? The good thing is, just show up and they'll be sitting in the pews waiting for you. We've bought enough for everyone. If you'd like to own your own, if you'd like to have your own copy, call the office and we can do that as well, and you can purchase that as some have asked to do. But thanks to the generosity of our friend Jan Landsberg of blessed memory, and when she left us after she passed away, we've been able to purchase these books for the congregation, and so we'll always have that. And it's a nice thing for Jan as a librarian to leave us with a legacy in a lot of ways, and books being such an important part of that too. We're excited for this new prayer book, excited to hear what you're going to think of it as well. I think we're the first congregation to start using it in Metro Detroit. Others have simultaneously, I think, begun to. It's only for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So, what's that? The audio version of it? Like, can you just, sure. Just turn off the camera and listen to services, you get the audio version. So, thank you, Dr. Seidman. Yes, Gary. Rabbi Young Daniel? Rabbi Young Daniel is doing Shabbat at Tamarack Camp tonight and enjoying that. He spent the past week at Tamarack and has been helping out there as a rabbi and helping with their Friday night traditions and do some teaching, and tomorrow morning as well. Right, Ilana? Okay, good. Just checking to make sure. I think that's where he is. That's right, that's right. There was a little plane to Milwaukee, but we won't talk about that, right? Right. So Ilana and I are in the same ruse, and that's where he is. And Rabbi's had a great summer. Ilana may disagree, but he spent 2.5 weeks in Israel, came home, and then went right to Goldman Union Camp, where he spent 2 weeks, our Reform Movement Camp in Zionsville, Indiana. Came back for a week, and then went down to Tamarack, or over to Tamarack to help out as well. And it's nice. We have a lot of relationships with different camps, different relationships with a lot of camps that we love to celebrate and help our kids get to. Well, there's a lot of children here, Paulette. I'm ready to go, but if you want to ask a question, deal with him. This is important. Well, anyone can come to service under the stars on September 2nd, Friday of Labor Day weekend. But for dinner, when do you have to tell us by? Tuesday? Tuesday of that week, 3 4. And if you call Wednesday, I'll still let you in. But Tuesday officially. So, yes. Excellent. Well, my friends, we're filled with so much joy and mazel on the Shabbat for Temple Shir Shalom for our congregation. 2 children who grew up at Temple, who spent their life here, confirmed on the Bema, graduated from this Bema, found each other. We talked about this at their wedding, last May. Watching this happen and seeing Ronnie in this world is such a beautiful thing, as well as a continuation of generations and having names that are a part of who he is, that are a part of all of us too. It's such a special thing. So it's really wonderful we can celebrate with an oneg as we rise together now before our oneg, and I call upon Lila Lily, and Zoe. To help me with the motzi here, Zoe.
Come on, Zoe. Ready? Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
And now, go bring that behind you to all those fun people around you to share the challah together. Go bring it. You can have some too. Right there. Give thanks for the blessings that we feel in this moment, especially being a part of something special in life and our community.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you. May God protect you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka.
May God's light shine upon you and shine through you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yisim lecha shalom.
May God always be a part of who we are as individuals, as a community, recognizing the blessings in our midst, always relishing and cherishing these moments we share together, blessing us, of course, with shalom, with peace.
Vayisim lecha shalom, Shabbat shalom.
Good Shabbos, everyone.
Good Shabbos.
And of course, a mazel tov.
Mazel tov.